Welcome, lovely collective, to your general timeless reading. I will begin your reading with crystal and turban seashell scrying, and then I'll also have some tarot and oracle for you as well. Let's go ahead and roll, lovely collective, and see what Spirit has in store. Holy Spirit, Holy Divine, all who are with me in the highest divine realms of love and truth, I ask that you please give me clear understanding, clear communication, and interpretation skills to bring forth the most loving, truthful information that the collective needs to know most. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, Spirit, what would you like to tell collective, please? Here, thank you. Okay, and who is collective? Oh, okay. And what is this? Interesting. Okay, so collective. You are coming through, and this is going to be a positive thing. So please don't take offense, okay? Because if it was a not so positive thing, I would still tell you, okay? Because I have to bring forth what comes through, right? But this is not anything that's negative, okay? It may seem that way at first. Just hear me out. So Spirit is showing me you are coming through sitting with a dunce hat on, okay? And you're coming through as a sloth. Now, when Spirit shows me this symbol in specific, the sloth, of course, we know is a very slow moving animal, right? But here's the thing, it's like Spirit showing me that collective, those of you that see this, no matter when you watch this, you may have been going through a phase or getting ready to step into a phase where you're going to feel like things are moving really slow for you, okay? And because you're wearing a dunce hat, you may be having feelings, or you may you might have feelings in the very near future, depending on your timeline, of some mistakes, things, lessons, things that you've been through, okay? You may be feeling like, oh, if I wouldn't have done this, or I should have done this, okay? Those would have, could have, should have type scenarios, okay? And I feel like because both of your eyes are open, collective, your nose actually has nothing over it. There's no skin, there's no tissue, it's just completely open. And for me, the nasal area are about the senses, the spiritual senses, like clairvoyance, clairaudience, your intuition in general, being sensitive, empath, all those things. So it's like your abilities in this situation, whatever it is that you are thinking about or reminiscing about or are getting ready to, please know, Spirit wants you to know your intuition was wide open, okay? You did see something clearly here. Don't beat yourself up if you feel like, oh, why didn't I see this? Why didn't I make this move? Spirit's wanting you to understand, because you're coming through as a sloth, it's almost like a feeling of Spirit saying that the divine had to slow you down in that situation. Okay, there's a divine purpose for it. It's not per se that you did anything wrong, collective. Okay, there was some kind of lesson here because of the dunce hat. There's some kind of lesson that you had to learn within this. Okay, and I know, guys, sometimes, like, even when my abilities are wide open, if there's something that, let's say I've made a soul contract to go through to learn a big lesson, okay, I will not be warned about it. Or I may be partially warned about it to help smooth things over before it happens, so that I can, heal well and things like that. But I'm not going to be given all the details. I'm only going to be given a small portion, because, or nothing, because there's something about either divine timing being at play. Like if Spirit would have shown me everything, all the details about it ahead of time, then I could have messed something up really bad, because whatever this is has to play out. It's not something that, like normal, like when spirit warns me of something, I can, navigate it in a different direction, detour, whatever. But in situations where the divine are like, okay, we can't warn you, collective, of this situation because this is something that you plan to go through prior to coming here for soul growth. Okay. So don't feel bad looking backward, or, looking back in your life in this lifetime and saying, oh man, I wish I would have seen this more clearly, because it would not bring you to the person that you are in this moment. And it's very important that you are this person that you are in this moment. Okay. So yeah, don't have any negative raw feelings at yourself. Okay. Use those things as tools. Take action towards healing if you haven't already, and just move forward and say, you know what? Thank you, higher self, for this awesome, amazing lesson that I learned. I get it now. Okay. Something like that. Now, here's another thing. You're also hugged up to a bunny rabbit. And this bunny rabbit, it's like a live bunny rabbit. Okay. It's not a stuffed animal. I know I see a lot of stuffed animals, but this is a live one. And it's literally like reaching up, and it has its arms around your neck. Okay. Which is very, very sweet. But what's telling me here is, and you're smiling as the sloth, you have this huge smile. Okay. So there's some kind of lesson you have learned or will learn within this situation. Whenever it is that you start reminiscing about all these would have, could have type scenarios, okay, you're going to get it. You're going to realize, wow, okay, I'm happy now. It's brought me to the place where I am. And all of a sudden you have this big rabbit that is like clinging to you, so happy, and the rabbit's smiling. Okay. And so rabbits, in this scenario, are symbolic to me for abundance happening fast. Okay. This is a very, very good sign. So it's almost like, because your eyes are to the left, okay, and again they're wide open, you see the situation clearly now. So it's like spirit saying, okay, now that that is over, or once you complete going through that would have, could have, should have type scenario, there's some kind of huge abundance that's literally coming towards you. Again, the rabbit is coming up to you. Okay. You're not going towards the rabbit. The rabbit is coming towards you. So it's like you having to complete out this learning lesson. And once you do, and you begin releasing any kind of guilt or shame or any kind of feelings that you may have towards yourself, beating yourself up, whatever, when you release all that, and you're like, okay, I can smile about this. I see this was a lesson. I've got the tools under my belt now. When you get to that point and you've released it, there's something that's going to be very abundant coming towards you. You're going to attract this, okay? Because this rabbit is literally going up to you and putting its arms around your neck. Like, there you are, collective. There you are. I found you. Okay? There's literally something coming towards you that you're going to magnetically be pulling and drawing towards you. This is awesome. Very, very cool. Okay. Now, as far as abundance goes, that could be money. That could be abundance of happiness, of good health. It could be good mentality, good mindset. It could just be so many different things, but it could be all of the above. But whatever this is, you're going to be so, so very pleased. So I'm very, very happy to see this for you, collective. Okay, let's go ahead and see what Spirit has for us. Spirit, Holy Divine, please give me the top two cards for the collective. Please give me the top two cards for the collective. Please tell me when to stop. Please tell me when to stop. Thank you. Oh, okay. I just started hearing now. Hold on. I have one that bent. Okay. Oh, very nice. I'll go over these in just a moment. I love it. And we have new solutions. Okay, very, very good. So this all makes sense. So if you can see here, so it's basically spirit in a different way describing exactly what I just told you. Okay, we have calm waters here. Okay, so it's like once you get to the point where you've let all that go, you're not beating yourself up anymore, everything's calm, peaceful, you're smiling. Okay, right? uh then all of a sudden something new, something abundant, the gears start turning, because of course it's a picture, the gears are still right there's no movement here, there's the sloth. Okay, so it's like now all of a sudden it's like once you get to this peaceful, grounded, harmonic place in your life, all of a sudden the gears start just turning. All of a sudden you get new solutions that just come towards you. Okay, it's like a magnet. And this could also be ideas as well, downloads. But there's definitely, it's like there's definitely some kind of new abundance. You're attracting something new here. Okay, and it could be a person as well, for some of you, but I'm not actually getting that yet. It's more so of like financial or happiness, love, peace, things like that. But doesn't I'm not really feeling romantic yet. We'll have to see what comes through. Okay, Spirit, Holy Divine, where would you like for me to go? Where would you like for me to go for the collective? Here? Here. Okay, thank you. So we're going to start with the oracle. Those of you that are new, please know I only read the oracle in the upright. Thank you, Spirit. What would you like to tell the collective, please? What does the collective need to know? Yeah, so the cards are not coming out just yet, so that's an indicator for me that some of you could have went through either cycles, okay, of things just like where you were sitting with the dunce hat. You could have went like cycle after cycle, repeating certain patterns you were repeating, or being around people that had the same patterns, something like that. And you're just now waking up to, oh my gosh, I kept going through cycles. Or if it's not that, it could also be like where you're realizing that something you've been holding on to for a very, very long time, either you felt guilt or you were feeling like aggravated at yourself. Why did you stay in a situation as long as you did? Or why did you make this choice? Okay. And this could have been something that happened years ago because the cards were taking their time coming out. So, you're going to have to take that part on however that resonates for you. Okay. All right. So we have, oh, I love it. First card out, forming structure, solid foundation. I love it. I love it. And you see there are little stones here. Now, although there's stones, I'm thinking back to, I do have a card that is kind of like this that I made. However, I made a huge, big boulder that was actually out in the ocean, okay, that comes out sometimes in the readings. And boulders that are in the ocean, they have well, it's very hard for the ocean water to actually move those boulders, those really, really big boulders. Okay. So I feel like what Spirit's saying here is it's like because you went through that situation, you come out of that situation and you're beginning to wake up to the truth about, oh, wait a minute, I had to go through that because that was a lesson. And now, okay, I can forgive myself for whatever my role was in it, and I can forgive anyone else involved. Okay, it was a lesson. I can move forward, and then boom, all of a sudden, you've got all these things like a magnet drawing to you, people, places, situations, because you're happy. Okay? Because now instead of feeling guilt or feeling anger at yourself or, whatever it may be, now you can actually find that inner peace. So because you've released that energy, it's allowing energetic space to be open in your life so you can receive more downloads, you can receive more information, you can receive abundance in many forms coming into your life. And because of the abundance coming into your life in different forms, then what's happening here is it's going to help you build a strong, sturdy foundation moving forward. Okay, so I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. I love this for you, collective. Okay, Spirit, what else would you like to tell the collective? What's going on with this solid foundation? What is going on here? Okay, hold on. Cards are wanting to go together, and we have reflection projection. See, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so first of all, the reflection. So that's where, looking back, hindsight, the would have, could have, should have. Okay. But then we also have projections. So for some of you, this could be people as well that projected a lot of their negativity on you. You could have been around people who had very narcissistic type signs and symptoms. Now, I'm not a licensed healthcare professional as far as being able to diagnose or treat. Okay, I am a retired nurse. I can say signs and symptoms, so we'll leave it there. But you could have been around people like that, or very controlling, very rude, angry type people, to where it could have made you feel like you were not enough, or it could have been situations where you felt like you did not belong or you weren't loved. And what was actually happening was here, collective, because I know most of the people that watch my channel are have began the awakening process, or have began realizing their open abilities at some way, somehow, or have realized that they are increasing in energetic frequency. So it's like, when you understand that, and you understand and you look back at the past and you say, okay, was my light shining that brightly? And you're like, wait a minute, it was my light. It was my light all along. I mean, I went through that too. It's like, wow, it was my light. These people couldn't handle the light of God that was in me. And it's spiritual. So it's like, instead of beating yourself up, instead of, staying angry at other people, it's a spiritual thing of where you're like, wow, okay, I get it now. It was the light of God that was within me. I was around these people for a reason. Remember, a divine purpose that was planned before you came here. And it was to help teach them, but at the same time, it was also to help you learn, to grow, to grab those tools so you can use those later on with your mission and your purpose. Okay. And so, but a lot of times we get people throwing their projections, things that they really don't like about themselves, because it's almost like we are a mirror to other people. I am a mirror. I am realizing that now. I didn't realize that until recently. Maybe a few months ago, I started understanding, okay, that's one of the reasons I'm here. I'm a mirror to people. Do I like it? No. Is it fun? No. Um, However, I also see the greater purpose. If I step back and I look at the whole situation as a whole, from the time that I entered this lifetime, that I can remember at age 3, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay, I get it. It makes so much sense now, because every situation I have been in, I have been someone else's mirror who was very angry, who were not were not happy with either themselves, something about, within themselves, or situations that they were in. Okay. And then I've been like a very happy kid, like ever since I can remember. Everyone's always told me, how do you always smile? How are you always so happy? But I always knew I had God within me. I always knew. Okay. And um, also, I have a pre-birth memory of making a soul contract with Jesus. I mean, like, I actually remember that. So it's like, that is the love of God. So now, and I'm 53, so now it's all making sense. It's taken me this many years to get it, but now I'm getting it, and I understand I'm this mirror. So it's like Spirit saying, when we come into this lifetime, if you see yourself as a light worker, starseed, chosen one, earth angel, any of the sort, it's like, we do come in as these mirrors, and it's not always pleasant. We signed up for some really hard stuff here, but at the same time, we can also look back and look at everything, as a whole, and we're like, wow, wait a minute, now this all makes sense. We did come here for this purpose, to be this mirror, to help people wake up, to help people. It's kind of like uh, it's kind of like a jolt. It almost jolts people uh, when they realize, wait a minute. At first, a lot of times people will be angry, um, having to face their, the real truth about something. But then it's almost like, many of them, it jolts them into the awakening process, or it jolts them into healing. Maybe not instantly, but after they've had time to calm down and they start thinking about the situation. Sometimes it could be take them years. Then they're like, oh my gosh, I get it. Like we are, like, oh my gosh, I get it now. Okay. So yeah, so I really feel like whatever you guys have gone through, it's now time. Yeah, thank you, Spirit. It's now time that it's like the divine's coming in to help you build a strong, sturdy foundation now moving forward. Okay, something that's just, it's not movable. Okay, and it's not, and I'm not meaning that in the sense of like being stubborn or anything like that. No, I'm saying it's like nothing can shake you. It's like you've been through so much, and you begin understanding, okay, wait a minute, none of this is even real. It seems real, but it's not even real. I'm not real. This is an avatar. My real home is here. And all these different things, and you're starting to realize, wait a minute, okay, they played a part, I played a part. And then you're like, okay, and then you start relaxing, and you're like, okay, wait a minute, I don't have to be upset, I don't have to be afraid, I don't have to be any of this anymore. Right? And you can actually start learning how to step out of the matrix, because you start, all this stuff becomes evident to you. And then you're like, wow, this is so much easier than being inside that matrix, because the matrix is hard. It's designed that way. It is designed to be so hard. But hold on just a minute. My dog, she just turned my phone on. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else Spirit wants to bring forth. Spirit, what else for the collective? I was going to say directive. Directive. Someone may, okay, if anyone is thinking about making a healthcare directive, I would make sure that you go over that and over it and over it and over it again, and make sure that it is exactly how you want it. Okay. If you are a POA of someone and you are, thinking about making a directive for someone, make sure you have all the P's and Q's in order. Make sure that you, um, do what, which of course I know you will do what, the family member or the close loved one, make sure you have all their wishes in there. But here's what I can tell you as a nurse: make sure that you, well, okay, so like let's say that you are caring for someone that has a history of Alzheimer's in their family, and now they're starting to have signs and symptoms of Alzheimer's, okay, or some type of dementia. So you know that their wishes have always been that they don't want a feeding tube should it come to that point. They want to pass away naturally, okay? So I would make sure that any documentation that you do, keep repeating that document after document after document, because I'll tell you, I even recently experienced this with my dad. He, like, one facility would have this information, but then, like, say the EMS would come to pick him up, because like he would be do not resuscitate with one, and then the EMS would come to pick him up, and they would automatically make him a full code when I had already given the DNR information to them. So it's like, and then he would get to the hospital, and then the hospital would have him as a full code when he didn't want to be. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, make sure that every system is in place, over and over and over again, and keep copies. Okay. So that's for somebody here. Now we have self-worth expectations. Yeah. See, I feel like this whole reading, this whole thing is just about not beating yourself up over past stuff, and beginning to awaken to new ideas, new ways of doing things, okay, outside of the matrix. I feel like Spirit's definitely wanting you to understand, not to be putting too much on yourself, okay, and remembering that, because, like with the expectations, like you have to be perfect. No, we didn't come here to be perfect. We're already perfect beings. We came here to not be perfect. We came here to mess up. And that's where I feel like the divine really wants humanity to understand. No, we don't want to mess up on purpose, okay? We want to do the best we can. We want to strive to be the best we can be when we're here in this dimension, in the 3D. But at the same time, we don't come here to be perfect. It's school. We come here to learn, to train. Okay, so if you think of it as training, and then we have to, while we're here, we're also training other people at the same time. Okay, and so stop putting so much on yourself and realize that you're already amazing. You're already perfect in another dimension. You're already perfect. It's just here we can't be. We have an avatar that we chose for whatever mission you're on at this time, okay? So don't down yourself. Just do the best you can, okay? Do the best you can, as long as you strive and do the best that you absolutely know how, and allow the divine and the universe to help guide you on your path. That's what's important. Okay, what else? Okay, Spirit just said go to another deck. All right, where are we going? Which deck? Was it this one or this one? Thank you. Pookie, come here. Somebody's looking out the window, and I have a feeling somebody's going to start barking. So I got to stop it now. Pookie. Pookie. Come here, baby. Come on, sweetheart. Come on. Pookie. Come here. Come on. Spirit, Holy Divine, what would you like to tell Collective, please? What would you like to tell Collective? What would you like to tell Collective? Hi, baby. These? All of these? Yes. Okay. In this order. Yes. Okay. Okay. So we're going to start in this order. So we have Six of Cups. See, there you go. Reminiscing about the past. Okay. And then we have Five of Cups. See? Morning. Yeah. See, this is like Spirit just keeps reiterating the same information, just different decks, different ways. Okay. Reverse or upright. Upright, we have the Chariot. Okay. Yeah, I love it. The very next card out, Eight of Wands. You look. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Same thing. I'm not going to keep repeating it. Okay. I'm just going to explain what I'm getting from the cards. So, anyways, reminiscing. Okay. Feeling, like mourning a loss. Okay. And when you get to that point where you're releasing and you're like, you know what? That may have been the past, but I'm going to learn from it and realize that you still have two cups that are full. Okay. And stop focusing on what you've lost. Stop focusing on the past. No, we can't erase it from our memory, but we can take action towards healing and release that to God and the divine. Okay. As we move forward. And then when you do that, here comes that rabbit. There's the Chariot. The rabbit, fast moving energy, very abundant. Okay. And with this Chariot, you have the Eight of Wands. Okay. Very fast moving energy as well. And I feel like what Spirit's saying here, because this can be a card of air travel specifically, or travel in general. It can also be a card of communication that comes in quickly, or you could be communicating something quickly. But honestly, Collective, I feel like for most of you, this is some kind of communication you're going to receive, because I saw this bunny rabbit. It's like running up to you to hug you. So you're going to attract some kind of communication here. Okay. I don't know for sure what it is. I will ask in just a moment, but definitely some kind of fast, positive, abundant energy. It is the number 8 as well. So that is the number of abundance. So, yeah, this is great. And then we have Five of Wands. Okay. And for me, the Five of Wands is like a mental tug of war. Okay. Going back and forth. Now, for some of you, it could be, and I'm going to get clarity, as I said, but it could be like a tug of war with another person, or you and your job, or you and the place you live, something like that as well. Spirit, Holy Divine, what is this Eight of Wands and the Five of Wands, please? It's definitely something you're going to be passionate about, okay? Because it is the wand, something you're going to have a lot of fire about. Okay. Tell me more, please. What is this Eight of Wands and the Five of Wands? What is this? Thank you. These? Yes. Okay. I think there's more than one. Yes. Okay. All right. Reverse or upright. Upright. Okay. So we have death in the upright. Okay. So yes. I love it. I love it. Okay. And we have the Six of Wands, victory. Okay. So this is clarifying the Eight of Wands and the Five of Wands. So the Eight of Wands, again, is like energy that's coming in very quickly of some kind. Something happening fast, which is, again, the rabbit. Okay. Something happening fast. The tug of war, I feel like that's that mental tug of war. I was seeing you like reminiscing, and it is beneath the Six of Cups, which is reminiscing, okay, from the past. And then so you have the Death card, and like that's going to end. That's over. There's not going to be any more of this. Once you wake up to the fact of what we've already talked about, it's like that's done. This cycle is absolutely going to close, and you are going to be so happy. You are going to be victorious over this, okay? And you're going to start realizing that, hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. My life, It doesn't have to be hard. My life doesn't have to be stressful. I'm creating my reality. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. My life is peaceful if I create peace in my life. My life is grounded if I create groundedness in my life. My life is abundant. I attract if I am in the energy to attract. Okay? And so it's like, then all of a sudden, it's like you have victory over it, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. There's no reason for me to ever, now that I see the clear picture, the overall picture of why I'm here, I don't have to have hard feelings at anyone anymore. Because listen, guys, when we hold bitterness and hard feelings towards people, you know what that does? It makes us old. It makes these avatars wrinkled really bad. It holds in a lot of what am I trying to say here, Spirit? Well, anyways, it's like it just a lot of stress. That's it. It holds in a lot of stress. If we don't let that stuff go and give it to God and the divine and say, okay, you know what? I get it now. It's a lesson. It was all a lesson. It's brought me to where I am now, and I am thankful for where I am in this moment, because this is where I'm supposed to be, and this is what I planned in order to be the person I am in this very moment. When we get to that point, guys, I'm telling you, it's like all of a sudden it's like, boom, wait a minute. I no longer have to be stressed unless I allow it. I no longer have to be without unless I allow it. You see, that's how this works. But we have to realize and get out of that matrix, okay? Because that is part of the mission too, is opening our eyes and understanding spiritually that the matrix, it does exist, but it's not our real spiritual selves. Okay? All right, Spirit, Holy Divine, what else would you like to tell the collective, please? And I tell you, that's where you find freedom. Major freedom, happiness. Because it's like releasing a lifetime or decades of feeling bound, and it's like no more being bound. Okay. All right. Reverse or upright? Upright. And what do we have? Temperance. Okay. So yeah. So I feel like in this situation, this is like earth angel energy I'm getting. That's what I'm feeling intuitively. Earth angel. It's like you learning how to, when you step outside the matrix and you start realizing, wait a minute, I am creating my reality. You see, she's pouring in the fire. She's mixing it with water to come up with something, mixing things together here, okay? To manifest, to create something that she wants to create. But we have to be in a very high vibrational energy to get to this point, okay? So getting to this point would be doing what we've already talked about, okay? And once you get there and you're like, you have that wake up moment of, whoa, wait a minute. My life is what I create. I'm happy. I can be happy. I can do things right here, right in front of me every day to bring in more joy. And when we get there, it's like game changer. You're no longer in the game. You start your own game, right? You don't play it anymore. I watch I have to say I listen to a lot of videos while I'm doing other work. I listen because I like to have noise in the background, and some of the things that I listen to are calming. And I know there's a lot of things on YouTube right now that I like to listen to, and they talk about this, like saying things like uh, they were playing checkers, or people in a certain situation, they were playing checkers when you weren't even playing the game at all. And I can't remember exactly. I listen to so many different ones just wherever I feel spiritually led to go. So I can't really uh, tell you what group it is or what channels that they are. But they're like AI generated, uh, but there are humans behind it. Just please know that. There are humans behind it, because I do something kind of on the lines of that too. So you have to have a human behind it. Okay. So it's not like it's all AI, so don't be scared of it. But it's very, very interesting, because that's what I'm getting here. Okay. It's like the same thing, like they say. Okay. And you have to, when you get to that point, you realize, wait a minute, I'm no longer playing that game at all. I'm playing my own game. And in my game, there's nobody else in it but me and what I want to create. Now, that's not meaning like selfishness, like, and like you're never going to be around other people or anything like that. I'm talking about matrix versus freedom. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. And when you realize that, the more that you start realizing that and you start living this, and then it's like, wow, all these years I have been bound and tied to something that was never even real. Okay, that's what we should be thinking about. Okay, that's what we should truly be thinking about, guys. Not the past things we've been through, per se, with other people, because again, the big things, we planned it so we could learn and teach. But that's what we should really be focusing on, is getting unstuck from that matrix. Okay, because it's like being in quicksand, and half of your body's sticking up, and you're just there, and you feel like you're just trapped all the time, no matter, always working in a loop, paycheck to paycheck, or whatever, just doing these cycles, what everybody expects us to do, how we're supposed to be. And when you can step out of that and say, oh, you know what, that's not for me anymore, you step out of it, and it's a game changer right there. Okay, I feel like I'm going to leave this here, because spirit keeps repeating everything, so I'm just going to leave it here. I feel like spirit really wants you to think about this. Don't listen to anything I say, guys. Research this stuff. Listen to or read things that other people say about the matrix. See how it resonates with you. Okay, because I can't tell anyone how to believe. I can't tell anybody what to do. I can just say that I have personally lived this, and have personally recently, over the past few months, I knew the matrix was real. Okay, I understood the stuff about the matrix, but I was still in it. It's kind of like I had one leg in and one leg out, going through a portal. Okay, I was still like halfway where that portal is, halfway in and halfway out. Okay, so it's like, um, I had to learn how to have the, how should I say this, have the courage and have strength to completely go through that portal. And when I did, wow. That's all I can say is wow. So, and the thing is, this is not a person specific. This is for all humanity. Okay? The entire 3D. So anything, doesn't matter, trees, animals, flowers, all of it. Okay? It's no different than someone sitting there and creating a game that you play. No different. Okay? It's just we came in as the characters in that game. So and because I feel like because I have lived it, experienced it, and now I see the truth and I see the proof after I have stepped out. The difference in myself, the difference in my health, the difference in every area of my life. Okay. Um, but I know it's scary to step away from that matrix because we're always worried about things, but that's part of being in the matrix. Worry. When you step out of it, you begin to have all trust in God and the divine. You no longer put trust in 3D. And it's a beautiful thing because everything always works out for you the way it divinely needs to and for your highest good. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Please research this. And I would be glad to know, any of you in the comments, if you have had experiences where you realize now that you are no longer in the matrix, or you're understanding more about that we have been born into the matrix and part of our mission is finding our way back out. Anything like that, I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments on this, because this is very interesting to me because, like I said, this is just recent for me that I've actually 100% stepped out of the matrix. Okay, so I just feel like it would be something very cool to talk about, and we could even at some point do like a live video, a live interview. If some of you guys have experienced things like what I'm talking about here and want to come up and we can do like a live show or something sometime. I mean, because I feel like this is something very important for humanity to start waking up and hearing, not hearing just theoretical, like, or scientific, but actual people who have experienced these things more than just, myself. So, yeah, I'm going to leave this here. So much love to each of you, and I wish you the best with everything. So much happiness, love, success, my friends. And as always, find your miracle in everything. If we look hard enough, we will find it. Much love.